started off, we all saw the video from the security guard worker trying to tell the people, you cannot park your boat here. We have an incoming boat. Can you please leave? They wanted to pop off and they jumped them. It was like 4-on-1. And I want to point out it was something interesting that happened because it's going to be a point that I'm going to get back to while we're discussing this.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just the men jumping them. There was some
women,
ladies kicking them and stomping them.
Yeah.
Just hold that there. Just remember I said it was women also kicking him.
Yeah.
Then he threw the bat signal in the air. This is why I got the hatch.
Yeah.
Shout out to LeVar Ball, BBB.
Hey.
But then he threw the bat signal up in the air. You know.
Right.
Then our young brother swam across the river.
Oh, did you see that? They calling him Aquaman.
Shout out to Aquaman. His name, I don't want to put his last name out there, but his first name is Aaron. And he's I want to say an athlete in high school.
Uh-huh.
Like a big-time athlete.
Okay.
I don't know if he works for the company, but he saw what happened, and he went into, jumped in right away.
Mm-hmm.
Went over there and was snatching honor, as King Honor would say.
Yeah.
You know, we saw the angles. He rock-bottomed somebody.
Yeah.
Like, young boy was getting to pop him. So, reason why I wanted to frame it the way I did, because, you know, I started to hear clips where people say, oh, well, both sides were doing unnecessary stuff. No. This is the deep South.
Yeah.
Montgomery, Alabama, that has a past of what?
Very, very blatant racism. A deep racist history.
Previous and current day. So, you know, then we formed like the Avengers, and then you guys all saw, we don't have to relive it, but you guys saw the multiple angles the SmackDown came.
Yeah.
Before I go on, what do you think about this situation?
Oh, I loved it because I think that's what we should have been doing from day one. I think for all these cats that's doing things to our kids, our youth, like these police and, you know, these so-called whatever you want to call them, like the dude that choked out that kid in Long Island, whatever you want to call those.
I was gonna bring that
upstanding American people or whatever. Like, that's what needs to happen. You need to get your head whooped. Start whooping their head. It will stop. Trust me when I tell you.
And I'm glad we're going here because most people either see this podcast or the videos and be like, why are y'all cheering? Why? You know, it's both sides. It's both sides were wrong. No. I already laid out the order of events, but this ain't a two-sided issue where you could see the devil's advocate. And no. We've been getting brutalized on camera, and I mean as black people.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up the kid in Long Island.
Yeah. I forgot his name. Slipping my mind right now. I know his name, but I'm just slipping my mind.
We talked about him.
Yeah.
But the incident in Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
There's George Floyd. There's Sandra Bland. We don't have Sandra Bland on camera, but we all know the Sandra Bland situation.
Yeah.
And there's many other where
Eric Gardner,
where people were holding their camera phones out, which, no disrespect to them, they did what they were supposed to do, but most of us sitting back, we wanted a little more like, nah, this is time for us to get arrested. People do need to jump in when we see somebody getting choked.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. What if those cameras weren't there? They had him by the water. What could have happened?
He could have fell in the water. He could have got jumped and got seriously hurt and died.
Could have drowned, and then they could have said, oh, he was aggressive. He attacked us. And, you know, so that's just a little tidbit I want to add, and I'll let you go ahead.
I think that from what I've been saying it from day one, like, we need to start fighting back. Stop. You know, like to go into your point about like with the camera phones, right? Like they're right for that, because I think what they initially start filming, they don't think it's gonna go as bad as it goes. Mm-hmm. You know, like Eric Gardner, like when you took him down like that, you thought like, yo, okay, he's just gonna get up and do whatever. Then this dude ended up dying. Like that, nobody's gonna record that. They gonna get up and be like, yo, get off him. But I think we just got to a point where we ain't listening no more. And I could tell you now, I'm not trying to send no dangerous message, because I know the first thing they're gonna go, well, if the cops is there, we don't care no more. Do you really want to do that? Because let's put it here. Let me put this in perspective. I know it sounds dangerous. There's young brothers shooting each other every day. You not going to pull nothing out and think that you're going to scare us with that, because then maybe you'll be the target. Do you want to go home or don't you? That's what it's going to come to. So it's either, I'm the reason why I'm like so passionate about it, because I've seen this, And I was like, I think I was in high school when
I'm
Rodney King hit.
I'm gonna bring in something from your time. I'll let you finish. I don't want to cut you off.
But I personally went through personal trauma myself, being in a predominantly white society, right? So I don't want to hear the Martin Luther King. We're done with that. We're done with the we shall overcome, praise be Jesus, and let's just be a bigger person, hope the justice system takes care of it. No, you put your hands on us, it's wartime. We're not talking no more. No more talking. It's just head whooping time. Let's see what happens. And then you know what? Because people, I don't want to go here, but I don't want to get too far because I know you want to make your points. I could tell you now on some legal stuff too, we're going to figure that out too.
We'll talk about because that's the last point, the legal obligation.
So if we start seeing like judges or lawyers, like certain judges, like trying to go with stuff that they know they shouldn't be going, we're going to vote your ass up out of there too. Black people are not, we're past the point of let's just go make a song, let's just go do a riot, we're going to figure it out. We're playing chess. So right now, from what happened, when it happened, whenever that did, I don't know what
yesterday.
Yesterday, okay,
because I 24 hours.
Okay, because I saw. I saw one video and I saw the other video. Shout out to my man that was using the chair. So listen to what I'm saying.
That's another point.
But
that's going to be a Black History moment.
But the point I'm making is that we're figuring it from every angle. We'll cross the other bridge when we get there. But that needed to happen yesterday. That's all I'm going to say.
Gotcha. So I wanted to touch on something from your time and connect it to hip hop and then connect it to this. So there's many incidents that were caught on camera, but some caught at a time where we didn't have camera phones, and something from your time period that you will remember. So to the audience out there, we already said our ages. If you've been following with us, we're old heads.
Right.
Something that was talked about in the hip hop community before camera phones in the early 90s was Yusef Hawkins.
Yeah, facts.
Bensonhurst, the Brooklyn section, correct?
Yes. So
for those of you who don't know, you could type in Yusef Hawkins. You'll figure out how to spell in a Google search, and you'll see, it was a group of young kids on a specific part in Brooklyn, and they got surrounded by a young mob. And unfortunately, they couldn't defend themselves, and the young brother got beaten to death. There was no camera phones in the early 90s.
Right.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is outside of him not having backup, people don't know the backside of that story, what happened. Something that blew up 2 years ago in hip-hop is one of the perpetrators of that crime, I forgot his name and it's slipping my head, slipped his way into hip-hop and was a worker at Hot 97 for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he didn't get outed until they put that Yusef Hawkins documentary out and his name was leaked.
Yeah. I remember we were watching that because we were working on the website.
His freaking name is slipping my mind.
Yeah. And it's on our Instagram.
Yeah, I would have to go back and pull up his name.
We blew it up on the page, like about that dude. So
I blew it up because there's some people at Hot 97 was acting like they didn't know, allegedly didn't know, and how this dude just slipped through the cracks, and he was a part of one of the most heinous freaking lynchings of a young Black person in 20-something years.
Yeah.
I brought that up to say this. Going back to the camera phone situation, that needed to happen for multiple. It's not us, because I'm going to keep saying it's not us cheering violence from hey, let's just get a racial riot. No.
Right.
We're saying as a group of people, we done been down this road multiple times. We done been down this road from the South. I said it on this podcast. I still have family to this day in the deep South, like very close to that area. Not in Alabama, but very close. There are still stories that I can recall family members telling me.
Right.
We see the stuff happen in Long Island. We see the stuff happen in Brooklyn, New York. So it's not that we're cheering for the brutality. This is not a two-sided issue. We're saying enough is enough.
Right.
The unity was very great to see amongst our people.
Facts.
Like the camera phones were there, but people said enough's enough. If we go to jail, this is going to be good trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something you risk your freedom for.
That's something you risk your freedom for because it needs to be said.
Right. So I'm trying to find that.
Oh, his name?
Yeah.
Well, you keep looking it up. But going to the brother who pulled out the chair. Now, remember I framed it and said there were some ladies that was attempting to jump the brother too.
Yeah.
So when such and such got hit with a chair in the head, everybody was like, "Oh, that's when he took it too far."
Yeah.
No, everybody's a casualty of war at that point.
Super
You
facts.
were there kicking. I'm not condoning anything, but you were there jumping 8-on-1. So when it was time to pull the self-defense and like rally for the people, and you were standing in the way, then I guess you got hit too.
Right.
But I want to give a special Black History moment, and hopefully this can be used for future references. We're going to throw some imagery up in here when this clip comes out. Special shout out to one of our ancestors, Nathaniel Alexander. On July 7th, 1911, in Black history, African American named Nathaniel Alexander of Lynchburg, Virginia, patented the folding chair. Now, originally for his patent, it was designed to be used in schools, churches, and auditoriums.
Right.
But August 5th, 2023, it was used to get it popping in Montgomery, Alabama. That's a special moment in Black history. Shout out to Nathaniel Alexander. We appreciate you, my brother.
Super facts.
Oh, man.
I think if I'll look that up in a minute. I think though I want to say this. I want to say like, yeah, he needed his head whooped. What is it like those people need their head whooped because they keep thinking they can just do it. They think that's okay. Like, yo, we just gonna do what we want. You ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like they only do, and that's the theory. Like we only do it to each other, but we don't do it to people that look like us. I've said that multiple times on a podcast. So when they got their head whooped, they needed their head whooped. That's what's gonna happen. And I can swear, like, and it's always, we always want to like, why I was kind of a little happy about that? It's like what you were saying about like, it's not condoning violence. It's that, let me give you an example. I never forgot when Trayvon Martin's verdict was going to come out. We was at a fashion show.
Yep.
I never forgot this. So we come out the fashion show, and I'm about to start posting like pictures of all types of stuff from the show. I posted a picture. What I didn't know was that was happening. And then I started, everybody's phone started blowing up in the car.
Notifications.
So everybody was starting to see it. So I already posted this picture of this girl, but I'm like irritated because now, and I remember everybody was just kind of quiet because we all knew what was coming, but nobody did nothing. Like, that's the thing. Like, George Zimmerman walks around here and nobody whooped his head. So I'm just like, yo, man, that's crazy. You dig what I'm saying? But we out here risking our lives, and I'm not trying to go all over the place. Like, I heard that one of there was a barrel. You know where I'm going with this. There was a barrel that was found with a body in it.
The Pop Smoke situation.
Yeah, it was connected to Pop Smoke, which I have no mercy on that person if it did. I'm not trying to send a bad message and sound like a dark cloud and hate to my people, but sometimes, if it is connected, that's part of the game. Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is meaning, and like Tony Yayo said, they sold Pop Smoke's watch for $3,000. You took
that kid is going to get out of jail in three more years. He only got sentenced to 4 years.
That judge needs to go. Whoever and the DA needs to go too. Whoever did that. That's one. Two, you took a young black boy's life for a $3,000 watch. Let that sit there with you. You're doing time. You destroyed that young black boy's mother for a $3,000 watch. I have no mercy. What I'm saying, the point of the matter is, why don't you go after George Zimmerman if you feel like you want to get up and get a come up? Go do what you're gonna go do to him. You know what I'm saying? It's hard enough for these young black boys to walk around, right? They got their own people doing that to them, but you not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people that don't look like us, like what we saw yesterday, how it started. They felt like doing. I'm pretty sure there was some alcohol involved, and I'm not excusing them. I'm not excusing them for it, but it put them on a brave level, and the fact that they put their hands on them is automatic. It's automatic. Like, you need to get your head whooped. Yeah.
There's an old saying. And now I'm piggybacking off of what you just brought in. There's an old saying is that the alcohol, a drunk person never tells no lie. And basically that saying comes from, alcohol brings out the truth in people. Yep. Now, I don't drink now at my age. I quit drinking a couple years ago for health reasons. But I drank in college. I drank a lot in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. As much as I drank and even sometimes passed out, I was still conscious of what I was doing. Meaning if it wasn't in my heart to do something, the alcohol didn't make me magically do it. Mm-hmm. Going to them, they probably was inebriated, but you still felt safe. You still felt comfortable, and jumping on a 60-year-old security guard because you thought in your heart you was going to get away with it.
Yeah.
So I can't get the excuse of, well, half of them were drunk and they was just hyped because they were in their 20s. No, that's what they wanted to do. That was in their heart.
You know who I wish was there? And now I remember the name, Jordan Neely. I wish that dude that choked out Jordan Neely, I wish he was there. I wish, like, he would have there and had a brave moment, and then we would have had a chair, and then we would have seen what you would have wanted to do. That's what I want to see. I want to see. I like you doing it when like it just, they don't understand. When we see that, we're traumatized. They do not understand that. Let's just say those people of color weren't around, the other young black people weren't around, right? Mm-hmm. If we saw that man get hit, beat down by them, that's trauma. But in the sad part about it is we would have looked at it like, yeah, this is gonna be a long, dragged out process, and he's gonna get a light sentence, and he's not gonna get charged, and we're gonna make a song and say F to do it, but nobody's gonna do anything. So I think yesterday felt good because it was like, yo, somebody did something. Because you never know what could have happened. It's like you said, you never know what could have happened had they not been around.
Phones there, or people weren't there.
Dudes swam in the river. That's what you need to start doing. When you see, let me tell you something. If I see something pop off like that, and I don't have to know that, brother. Like, if I see something pop off, you gonna get your head whooped. I'm telling you, I'm gonna ride right upside your head. You are going to get the Brooklyn stomp. And I promise you're going to get everything you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So when you're feeling brave and like, yo, what you going to do about it? Don't worry. I'm going to give you everything you're looking for. I want you to keep your mouth shut, the same energy when the cops come. Don't start running and crying. Don't do none of that.
No.
So my whole point, let me tell you something and it's kind of connecting. I saw it was a YouTube clip. I can't find it nowhere. It's like it was a social media clip. So there was two kids. I know, and there was another one too with the blind man, the black guy and the white guy. I know you saw that one. But there was another one. There was these two kids. There was a white kid, and he was stealing a bike. And there was a black kid, and he was stealing a bike. The white kid was admitting he was stealing the bike. He was like, they was like, yo, is that your bike? He's like, no, it's about to be. The white kid was saying it. He's like, yeah, I'm just trying to get out. And the white people were laughing when they were walking by. So the black kid did it. They didn't, it was an experiment. The black kid did it. And they said, yo, is that your bike? He said, no, it's about to be. He said, ain't nobody claiming it, so I'm just going to take it. So they were getting brave, and the white people were like, oh, somebody call the police. And then the one older white dude was like, yo, he tried to take the tools from the black kid, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's no other black people really around at this point. It's just a bunch of white people standing around. So it was seeing how when it was the white kid, they was laughing.
Basically a social experiment.
Right. So the black kid, when it was around, they was getting aggressive. You see what I'm saying? And he was by himself. I've been in those situations because of where I grew, where I lived at. So where I lived at. So it was crazy. Like I to this day, like sometimes, not to make it personal, I wish like I had an older me. I'd have been in like and out. Brother, I'd have been banging on them. Yo, they messing with you? I'm gonna go up there. Don't worry about it. Don't do nothing. Just when you come out of school, I'm gonna be right there when you come out the door. I'm not gonna be by myself. I'm gonna deal with it. You get what I'm saying? Make the point of what I'm making. This kid was by himself, and it was like a teenage boy. What are you doing? So when I see what I saw yesterday, the reason why, because we have been so traumatized. I mean, it's like what you said before. We becoming numb to it. So now we like, oh, well, we ain't got nothing to lose anyway. The sad part is we done been through this so much that at this point, it was generational. And you know what? Let's be honest. It's like you said, it's been going on, but there was no cameras. And now it's when it's cameras, at first it was a shock. And now it comes to rage, then it comes to numbness, then it comes to we ain't got nothing to lose, so go ahead. Go ahead. I can tell you now, and I remember Robert Horry said this on NIT. That's probably why he's not doing the NBA show no more on TNT as much as he used to. I know if anything ever happened to my son, from what these situations, instance, your family's not going to make it. I don't care if I catch you on graduation day. You're not going to make it. But I would have the same fury that those people had when they saw that older black man getting hit. Because you know why they jumped in? Because they know what could happen. They knew where it was going. Even if he survived it, he's still traumatized because let's just say they wasn't there. He'd have been traumatized. He'd have been physically beaten, and it would have been the same old, oh, we feel bad for him. No. We don't want to hear that anymore. It's kind of I hate to admit this, it's kind of Trump theory. You either on this side or you're not. So if you feel bad enough for him, then maybe you need to go over there and go get in there and throw your hands. I don't want to hear you feel bad for him. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
So they got what was coming to them, and I don't have a merciful bone in my body for him. Period.
Here's the second part to that situation outside of the, the Brooklyn stomp, the chairs, the, the 2-piece connection with a side with a biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently some of the members that perpetrated the jumping owned a mini mart in town.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when it happened, they tried to do a PR move and spin it like, it wasn't what it seems. Like they tried to edit the clip at first, but they didn't. They forgot all the camera phones around. Right. So whoever was the worker or owner, and it's called Vassar Family Mini Mart in Montgomery, Alabama, tried to spin it, and then everybody released all those clips. That's why all those clips came out, because they was like, oh, no, you don't. You're not about to spin this narrative that, we were trying to get away and diffuse the situation, and they just came and got violent. No. So the second part is the community started to boycott this mini mart. So now we're about to hit your pockets.
Yep. I told you. Playing chess. We're going to figure it out.
They found a Facebook page, started leaving bad reviews on Google, because that also hurts, because then when people look up your business and you got bad reviews,
they don't want to deal with you.
And then now you have the negative press. So now your doors might be closed.
Yeah. And another thing too, remember what I said when we were talking about, I think the politicians, we were talking about the politicians before. And I always kept saying, follow the money. Follow who's supporting them. It's like the Santas. Just find out who's supporting them and don't support them no more. And then if you over there with them and you
donating to his campaign,
I ain't rocking with you neither. We're separate entities. Stay away from me. I'm not supporting you. We need to like stop being so understanding. I don't care. You either on this side or you're not. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to hear when people be like, yo, people that don't look like us be like, yo, I feel bad, man. No, you don't. 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 I see it at my job all the time. There's despicable, disgusting, racist, degenerate individuals there. And it's clear and evident in the workplace. So what I'm telling you is like, I don't want to hear what you feel. Stop showing me or telling me a Martin Luther King quote and speech, and you're only going to show me by your actions. I ain't listening to nothing else.
That's a bar right there.
Basically.
We're gonna talk some more bars later on in the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Montgomery, Alabama. Again, if you see this, we're not inciting a race violence. This ain't a two sides of the coin issue. So before you get in the comments talking about both parties were equally as wrong, you can miss us with that. But yeah, man. I wanted to touch on that because that was heavily on my heart for 24 hours.
I loved it. I think, can I say something? When I first saw it, I just saw when they hit the old dude, and then the kid was swimming towards him, and look, he was swinging. Then I saw the second. There was another, like later on in the day, I saw another version, and then I saw when he was hitting them with the chair, and they was wilding. They didn't care whether they was women or not. You don't put your hands on people, and I just don't care. I don't. I really, 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 really don't. You put your hands on somebody that you shouldn't be putting your hands on, you'll get your hands put back on. And there's no mercy. I feel no mercy for those people. None. And I am extremely glad it happened. Extremely.
So like I said, that clogged up our timelines for 2 weeks. So